Today is National Gas Workers Day, Natural Gas Workers Day. And I really do, we talk a lot about electric reliability, we talk a lot about water, and we talk only a little bit about gas. So I want to just talk about the great work that our team does every day that sometimes people just don't see. We recall that we did a great job on the Weaver to Gill, the massive natural gas pipeline, replacing that 90-year-old pipeline down there. And we did it in a neighborhood and in people's backyard, and we did it on time and without interrupting anybody's flow of natural gas. It's pretty remarkable for a project that size that you had zero delays, despite some of the challenges that we face with some pretty sloppy conditions down there and rain that would have otherwise taken us off. But our team did a great job of managing that. Recently, we had a 6-inch gas main in the Old Allen area up in the Raleigh and Fraser that was struck by a third-party contractor. They struck and broke that 6-inch main. Our team quickly secured that to keep it safe. That impacted about 1,000 customers over the weekend. Our team hit the ground, went door to door, and told customers who were impacted what was going on. We rerouted as much gas as we could to serve that customer team. We found out that the alternate path that serves them is not sufficient, so we had to put in some new piping there. This pipe was really far underground. So in 24 hours, we got the customers served. And when natural gas goes out, we go out and cut everybody's gas off because you don't want, as you're purging the system, air to get in there and those kinds of things. But then we had to go cut everybody's gas back on and then light the pilot lights. So it was a gargantuan effort by a lot of people that got out there and helped all those customers get back on. Thankfully, it wasn't significantly cold out there. But what could have been a real problem turned out not to be. And in the leadership, I want to commend the leadership from the middle who just did the right things and just told me, here's what we're doing. We didn't have to ask. They just said, here's what we're doing to take care of this, boss. And they got things rolling and got a whole bunch of people who wouldn't have otherwise been at work to come in and help meet those customers where they are. So outstanding customer service face to face with those folks. Over the weekend, during the middle of the storm, we had a valve blow off out at Arlington Liquid Natural Gas facility, and it was blowing gas into the air, and we got that reported in the middle of the storm, and our team went out there and took care of that as well during some pretty arduous conditions and kept that safe. One thing that we don't get a lot of attention to is the folks who are out there in the streets each and every day. You see some plates in the streets and you see some repairs in the streets. Those are our team, in addition to the folks that are doing lead service line replacement, for safety and for long-term reliability. We were replacing all the steel tap couplings. That is a steel coupling that is attached to either a cast iron or a steel gas pipe in the ground. Those are prone to failure. When you know better, you do better. And over time, the industry has said, we know better now. We need to modernize those couplings. So our team is doing more than 1,000 of those each and every year. That involves excavating around the gas line, which is challenging. That means sometimes running a new service to the house, all of that while letting customers know what's happening, letting them know they're going to be inconvenienced for a few hours while we cut their gas off, run that new line and get them cut back on. So, the bottom line is when we're done, it'll be a safer system, have fewer leaks, and will serve our customers well for many years. While we're at it, we're also sometimes upsizing the service if we see the service isn't the appropriate size for those customers. So, and all of that's possible only because our gas engineers, the folks I mentioned before, who do a lot of work behind the scenes, who are designing all of these jobs, who are also making sure that every new customer that comes gets a connection timely, gets a design that's timely, and allows for the growth of our community, much of which is happening in eastern Shelby County, northeast Shelby County. That's only possible because our team is responsive to the needs of the community and designing and building and putting in the infrastructure that's necessary for our communities to grow. And what massive growth we've seen in our suburbs. I was talking to the chairman about this, from 1980 on, the population in the city of Memphis has stayed relatively flat. But the population of the suburbs in Shelby County went from 40,000 in that period of time to 170,000. All of that growth was fueled by Memphis Light Gas and Water, putting the infrastructure in that's necessary to serve what has become an 8 times increased natural gas load and an 8 times increased electric load for all of that. That doesn't happen without new infrastructure and without the natural gas team who's doing these designs and doing that construction and putting it into play. And then finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, our folks who do gas purchasing and our liquid natural gas plant. We talked about this recently. We've never had or suffered from a threat of not having enough gas. And during this most recent winter storm, our gas purchase team, because of the excellent job they do managing storage and our LNG plant with the storage we have there, saved our customers $15 million out of what would have been a $60 million natural gas bill, but it was a $45 million gas bill because of the work they do. So altogether, and there are many others on the team that support them in doing this work, our team does a gigantic amount of work every year. They do it safely. They take great pride in what they do. And I'm thankful for the work that they do here and that we have a very broad natural gas system with the lowest residential prices in the country. Yet we are providing excellent service to our customers. So I want to thank all those folks who work on our natural gas team. Sometimes electric gets all the criticism and all the credit. Our gas team just keeps slugging away each and every day. There's nobody here who worries about whether they're going to have supply of hot water or heat to heat their homes. So with that, Mr. Chair, that concludes my comments for today.